And it's almost like the interactive experience of a role-playing video game. You kind of have to deal with the choices that you make throughout the entire, and it's your path that you've chosen. So that's a great idea. And then also with Black Mirror's Bandersnatch, you see these elements of choice inside that as well. So as for You vs. Wild and how it was, I found it entertaining, but it's all tongue-in-cheek and it's for the kids. It's very tame, but it's fun. And, you know, you get to make Bear do stuff, which is pretty fun. So you get that, and there's only a select amount of time too, so you kind of, it'll just choose for you too. So it'll just, if it guesses right, then you'll get to do it. But so there's some silly parts in this for sure, but it seemed like it was for kids anyways. But I'm a huge fan of Bear Grylls. I love Bear Grylls. I loved Man vs. Wild. And then you also get the extension of that where he had like Shaq vs. Wild, and he had Zac Efron vs. Wild. Those were fun too, but I was a die-hard Man vs. Wild. Man vs. Wild, you go to the Everglades and you learn a whole bunch of shit. So you're like, Bear's climbing a tree. He's like, I'll show you how to climb a tree with my shoelaces so you can get a long sight line so you can get out of the Everglades and survive. So he climbs this 100-foot tree with just his shoelaces and he just shimmies up there. And he's like, oh, can't see anything. Oh, well. So he shimmies back down. And then while you're in the Everglades, you find two ways to find south. And then he eats a turtle and he stumbles upon the Seminole camp from the 1900s. And there's citrus there and there's like lemons and oranges there. And it's just, that was a crazy experience that you're like, oh my God, Bear Grylls he can't die. But yeah, so with this one, it was just a little tame. That's it. And oh yeah, I was watching the Everglades one recently just because I was watching You vs. Wild and I was like, I don't remember it being this tame. So I rewatched one and he teaches you that all frogs are safe to eat in the Everglades. You learn so much stuff. You're like, man, I can maybe make it out in the wild as long as there's no mangrove trees or whatever, or sawgrass. But yeah, this was just, it was fun and entertaining, but it was nothing compared to Man vs. Wild. And it wasn't supposed to be. What I would have been more comfortable with, and maybe they do this, is that they explain like, hey, this is storytelling and this is like, these aren't dire circumstances. So let's not pretend like they are either. Like there's a little itty bitty alligator in this. And it's like, should I shoot it with the slingshot or should I just scare him? You know, and you get those choices and you know what's entertaining and fun, but let's call it what it is. And it's for younger people. But it was entertaining and fun, and I'm a big supporter of Bear Grylls. And if this comes off negative, it's not supposed to because Bear's awesome. And I think if you want to just have a little fun, I think this is entertaining enough. Like he paraglides down a mountain, and he like shows you how to make fire, and you know, you do learn some things inside of this. It's just not as tactical as Man vs. Wild, and it's not as rough around the edges. This is much more pristine, as you'd expect because it's an interactive game. But what's crazy and so admirable is that Bear did everything. So he even did the bad choices. So there's stuff where like he falls into an ice lake, and while he's in the ice lake, he's explaining to you like how to get out of it and what to do if this does actually happen while your body's going into shock. So that's why Bear's amazing. See, there's the shot if you're on the podcast or on YouTube. So that's the shot. But yeah, he's doing all kinds of stuff, and it was fun and entertaining, but it's just nothing like Man vs. Wild, and it's not supposed to be. So it was fun. And eating the grub, you get to choose if he eats these termites or the ant. I would love to see Netflix's numbers behind that. And I guarantee it's 100% everybody made him eat the grub. And it like explodes in his mouth. It's like projectile. It was hilarious. But yeah. And there's a few silly moments. Like he's to evade a jaguar. this is the only choice I'll tell you. To evade that you should make. To evade a jaguar, he either can roll in mud to cover up a scent, because these feline cats are crazy good at picking up scents and stalking prey via scent. Or you can dress up as a bush, and you can get tree limbs and leaves and make bear walk through the jungle as a bush. You should pick that one, because seeing bear do that is just incredible, and it was fun. So yeah, let me know if you watched You vs. Wild, if you have any questions, what you thought of it, or if you should check it out, or, you know, anything in general. So let me know what you thought of the show. You vs. Wild. Love you, Bear. Big fan. So thank you so much. Matthew Benjamin with the American Movement Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe. YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play. Anywhere podcast can be found, you can get us there. So thank you so much. Matthew Benjamin, American Movie Podcast. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, 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 bye.
After all, someone has to pay for the lap dances for the big guy.
He's joking around. Feels so good when he jokes.